The killer wanted to make sure this was a clear act of murder, not just a tragic accident. The fire department may have put out the flames, but the smell of smoke still lingers in the air. It's all too familiar. The memory of my own burning home and the laughing faces of my family floods back into my mind. I shake it off and focus on the task at hand. I notice a small, faint footprint near the victim. I make a mental note to have the forensics team take a closer look at it. As I move deeper into the house, I see signs of a struggle. Furniture is overturned, and there's broken glass and debris scattered throughout the room. The killer clearly put up a fight, but it was no match for the perpetrator's strength and determination. I make my way upstairs, where I find the second victim. A middle-aged man, lying in a pool of his own blood. Like the first victim, he has a knife wound in his chest. The killer is clearly escalating, and it's only a matter of time before he strikes again. As I step outside, I can't help but feel a sense of frustration. I've been working the streets for 26 years, and the violence and brutality never seem to stop. I light up another cigarette and make my way back to my car. I have work to do, and I won't stop until justice is served. I've lost everything, but I will not let this killer take away another life. I am driven by a singular purpose, to bring this killer to justice and make him pay for his crimes. This is my city, and I'll be damned if I let someone like him run it. As I pull into my driveway, I can't help but feel the weight of the night on my shoulders. It's been a long night, one with too many cigarettes and too little sleep. I know smoking is frowned upon, but I like it. I like how the smoke scrapes away slowly at the back of my throat to keep me going throughout the night. I like it when the hot tar fills up my lungs and burns my body from the inside. I cough, but I like it. It reminds me of my mortality. See, everybody dies someday. And in my line of work, you never know when that day is gonna come. So if I'm gonna die on the job, it might as well be from something I like doing. As I step out of my car and make my way to my front door, I take a deep breath, trying to shake off the feeling of unease that's settled in my stomach. My house is quiet and dark, just as I left it. But something seems off. I can't quite put my finger on it, but I can't shake the feeling that something is wrong. I slowly make my way through the house, checking each room to make sure everything is in order. But as I enter the living room, I see a figure standing in the shadows, holding a pistol. It's the brother of the psychotic arsonist, the man who had killed my wife and child years ago. He must have found out my location. I freeze, my heart beating fast. He steps into the light and I can see the hatred and anger in his eyes. He points the gun at me and says,
"You think you're so smart, detective? You think you can just go around trying to put us behind bars and get away with it? I'll make sure you never can."
I know I have to act fast. I quickly assess my options and decide to make a run for it. I turn and sprint towards the back door. I can hear him cursing and running after me. I throw open the door and run as fast as I can. I can hear him firing the gun, but I don't stop. I keep running until I reach my car. I quickly drop to the ground and hide behind my car, hoping that it will provide some cover. I can hear him firing the gun, bullets slamming into the metal. But I stay put, knowing that if I make a run for it, I'll be an easy target. And then I feel the sharp pain in my left shoulder. I've been shot. Damn it, I got shot in my left shoulder. Damn. At least it's just a flesh wound. I bend down and scoop up some dirt and mush it against my open shoulder so that the tiny grains of sand grind hard against my bones. I like it. It reminds me that I can bleed. And if I can bleed, so can everyone else. If I can bleed, so can he. I know I have to end this, one way or another. I pull my own gun out and peek over the car's hood, trying to get a clear shot. But he's quick, darting behind a nearby tree. I try to follow his movements, but it's difficult. Suddenly he steps out, gun raised and pointing right at me. I react quickly and pull the trigger. I hear him scream in pain as he drops to the ground. I keep my gun trained on the man as I make my way over to him. He's lying on the ground, writhing in pain and clutching his chest. I can see the blood seeping through his fingers. I know he's not going to make it. He looks up at me with a mixture of hatred and fear in his eyes. He knows he's done for. I kneel down beside him and ask him, "Where's your brother? Tell me where he's going to strike next." He coughs and blood spews from his mouth.
"You'll never catch him,"
he says.
"He's too smart for you. He's always one step ahead."
I press the barrel of my gun against his forehead and say, "You have one chance to redeem yourself. Tell me where he's going to strike next." He looks up at me, his eyes filled with a cold determination.
"Fine,"
he says.
"I'll tell you, but you have to promise me one thing. You have to promise me that when you fail and he kills you, you have to go straight to hell."
I reload my pistol. I don't like guns. That's why I do it this way. I reload one single bullet at a time. It gives me time to think if I'm doing the right thing, killing someone. I'm not a cruel man, but sometimes I still wonder. Am I doing the right thing? Then I remember only God can judge. That makes me smile. I'm just escorting the sick bastards to trial. I proceed to point the gun in his direction, and that's enough to break his spirits. He tells me the location of the next murder, a warehouse on the outskirts of the city. I quickly relay the information to the chief and set off to stake out the warehouse. It's a long shot, but it's the only lead we have. It's a race against time to stop this killer before he can strike again.